the loop, man of God, pass the loop, man of God, pass the loop, man of God, and the Bible, it is true, pass the loop.
God gave us a receipt, if you will, to show us the price that he paid for real love. Because God understands that we have a different value for things when we understand the price that was paid for it. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Real love costs you nothing to receive it, but it will cost a big price, a heavy price, in order for you to give it. Let me help you. God is love. God has no beginning and no ending. Therefore, we can surmise that agape love has no ending. Real love never dies because its nature is eternal. But God needs you to spread his love in the earth realm. The enemy wants you to be confused about what love really is so that you can be stuck, because if you're stuck, then you will never get started. You will treat love like it's something nice to have instead of something you must possess. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You will treat love like something, watch this, that you should pursue rather than something you should personify. Watch this. I was watching the news, Miss Allen. I was watching the news, and on the news, they used a term. There was a term that they used on the news called herd immunity. They were talking about the vaccine, and they used a term called herd immunity, right? And herd immunity, it's when a large part of the population of an area is immune to a specific disease. And they said, I'm going somewhere, and they said if enough people are resistant to the cause of a disease, it has nowhere to go. While not every single individual may be immune, the group as a whole has protection. So they said if we can just get at least 75% of the folk to become immune, then the population can change. God spoke to my spirit. And he said, son, if this concept of agape love, if I can get my people to become inoculated with the vaccine of agape love, then this virus called sin has nowhere to go. This is why I'm trying to get you to love. If I can get you to love your brother, if I can get you to love your neighbor and your community, and then the agape love begins to spread, then sin has nowhere to go. Somebody shout, I got my shot. When the storm came down through my house, when it came by my house, my daughter woke up at about 3 o'clock that morning. She ran into our bedroom crying, saying, Daddy, I'm afraid of the thunder and lightning. I said to my baby girl, I said, listen, I'm asleep. Mama's asleep. Everything is good. Go back to your room and go to bed. She said, okay, Daddy, went back to her room and got into bed. Okay, you missed the principle. Here it is. The storm was still raging. It was still raining outside. The lightning was still flashing, but her response was different because her daddy told her, have peace. I wish I had somebody in here. The storm was still outside. It was still raining outside, but because your daddy said, I want you to have peace even in the middle of the storm. And I've come to tell you that God said, have peace. I don't care what's going on in your life. I have sat at the bedside of people that were dying, going home to be with the Lord, and they wasn't afraid of dying. They had peace. I have talked to a mother that didn't know how she was going to feed her children because she didn't have a job, but she had peace. And I've come to tell you that our God can bring unexplainable peace. My faith is not shaken because my father told me before I even got here, if you lay down your life, I will take it up again. So I already have, hear me, a guaranteed word. I wish I had about 23 people up in here. He says, here it is, I got the results before I started the process. When I talk about unspeakable joy, this is not about material stuff. Because if truth be told, we have more now than we've ever had in our lives. But love is the only thing that's missing from the equation. And the reason that you don't have joy is because you have stuff, but you don't have love. Joy is a byproduct of love. You won't be able to understand why you did not throw in the towel. When you get a phone call and the doctor says, yes, it's cancer. When you get a phone call and the doctor says, yes, your loved one is going on to be with the Lord. When you get a phone call and your boss says, we can't use your services anymore. If you don't have a joy on the inside of you. But it is that joy. It is that joy that will remind you that no matter what the verdict is, you're going to be all right. Because your joy is not hinged on what you live in, what you drive, or who you're booed up with. Your joy comes from the Lord.
Man of God, Pastor Luke, man of God, and the Bible.